Hey everyone, I'm going to do some cooking today and I'm going to make some energy bars or for some people healthy bars, healthy eating bars, just depending what you put in it. So I'm going to give you the option if you're a sports person what you can add, and if you're just a normal person that wants a healthy treat with no additives and stuff in them, then you cannot put the extra things in, but I'll point out what extra things I'm putting in as we go along. Right, to start with, you'll need some sort of a tray or a loaf tin. I've done them in a loaf tin. This is a brownie tin, so they're individually done, and I'm putting cling film on them this time. I have used foil. Normally if I use a normal tray I use foil, and when I've used a loaf tin I've used foil. So anything will do. All you need it to be is something to stop it sticking to your tin, like foil, cling film, and it will shove in, because you're going to squish your mixture into these little containers. So if you use a loaf tin, squish it in, and when you turn it out after you've put it in the fridge, you can cut it up. So I make two different types. One I use dates, and the other one I use apricots. So I put slightly different things in if I'm using the apricots to what I do with the dates. And today we're going to make the date one. But when I use apricot, I normally use coconut or granola with it. So dates. Right, I've got a pack open, so I'm going to start with them. If the dried dates, you'll need to soak them, but these are quite soft, so you shouldn't need to soak these. And when you soak them, make sure that you drain the dates, otherwise the extra moisture that you get in them, if you just scoop them out, makes your mixture too sloppy, and then it don't set very well, and then it's very sticky. Still edible, but it's very sticky to eat. And you'll need some nuts, so any nuts will do. I normally use a mixed nut, peanuts, cashew nuts, anything like that will do, whatever you fancy. But at the minute all I've got in is a fruit nut mix, so you can put the fruit in as well, doesn't matter if you add any other fruit to it. And I've only got roasted salted peanuts, and I think they're my husband's dry roasted peanuts. I'll pinch them if I'm running out. So what we need to do is we need to grind them up very fine. So what I do is put them in my mixer. So we will. You're right. Brain's not working at all this morning. Well, I have had a busy day up to yet, because if you watched my video from this morning, after I'd done the 5k and I was walking the dog, and we bumped into Eva, and then her owner did turn up eventually. We went to walk with them and we went miles, so I'm a bit on the tired side. So I'm going to stick the peanuts in here. Now you probably want 1 to 2 cups of peanuts. I have this cup thing. For people that haven't got cups, proper measuring cups, just use a normal cup or a little tea cup, whatever. But it doesn't really matter. You just put in as many nuts as you want. You need quite a few. You can put granola in as well. So if you haven't got many nuts, or you don't like it ever so nutty, or you can't eat nuts, then you can use granola, because that will pad it out a bit. So right, I'll go and measure myself some nuts. I'll put this on the machine. So we have 1 cup of, this is salted peanuts. I mean, for me, I need salt in because of I eat them when I'm doing like long runs and stuff, so I need the salt. If you are on a salt-free diet, then you use unsalted nuts. You don't have to put in what I put in. So we'll put them in there, and we'll just put some of these mixed ones. There's a bit of extra fruit in there, but that doesn't matter. You can put whatever fruit in you want. You don't have to use dates. Like I said, you can use other things. Dates, you want some sort of fruit that will bind everything together, hold everything together. So you've got to use some fruit. So yes. Excuse me. No, you can't eat that. That's got to go in the bin. Doggies can't eat my nuts. No. Right. So I'll have to put my hand over the top. Right, so we will put these into a bowl, 1 bowl. Right, the reason I'm not adding the fruit in, I always put the nuts in I've got to be careful with this fruit. I've got doggies hanging about, and anything I drop, there is not a 1 second rule, 2 second rule. Any second rule in the house, they don't normally hit the floor, they normally catch it on the way down. So I have to be very careful if I'm doing raisins, sultanas, because they're poisonous to dogs. So put that over there. The next thing is the dates. And we'll finish this one off. Now these have been open a little while, so they might have dried out a bit more than the others. But I can always add a bit of water or something to loosen it up if it gets too thick. So you want roughly about 3 cups full of dates to that amount of nuts. But why I put the nuts in separate is because I can judge then. I can just tip some in, and if I think it's getting too stiff, then I can just put the nuts away in a bag and save them for next time. So 1, now this is a different make of hold on, these aren't dates. Haha, big mistake. These are prunes. Well, I'll have a look in my bag, and I haven't got any more dates, so they'll have to do. So this is going to be good. I think prunes make you go to the toilet, so we may not be putting an awful lot of prunes in. I put figs in as well, but figs make it a lot sweeter. My friends weren't so keen on them when I put figs in, when I put nearly all figs in, because they reckoned it was too sweet. So it's your choice, you can put in whatever you want. Not sure whether I am just going to put some apricots in there. I'm not sure whether I like prunes. I've never had prunes before, so there's me when I'm shopping without my glasses on again. So like I said, it doesn't matter what fruit you put in. So just in case, I'm just going to put some apricots. I normally don't put the apricots in with the prunes, or the figs, because you can't taste them then. If you put them in with figs or dates, the brain's gone completely, totally gone. You can't taste the apricot, so normally I do an apricot one separate, and that's why I put coconut with it and granola with it. I could have actually added granola in there, but right. Lid on. This is what it's got to look like. All nice and soft and wet. Not too wet though. If you've not drained your dates after you've soaked them, if you've got dried ones, then it'll be too sloppy in there. So I have to put that back. Right, so now I think I'll get a spoon. And I will put some nuts in. Now, if you get to this stage and yours is very, very sloppy, you can add granola to try and soak up your liquid. But that looks all right to me. Now, at this stage, you've got an option. If you just want to put that into these trays, that is a healthy snack. If you want not to be so healthy and want chocolate flavoured, then all you need to do is put some cocoa powder in it, which I do quite regular, and then mix that up, put it into your tray, cool it in the fridge so it sets, then melt dark chocolate. Works best, I find, but if you don't like dark chocolate, plain chocolate. You only have to buy cheap chocolate, you don't need anything fancy. And melt that and pour it over the top of each one, put it back in the fridge to let it set. And once, you don't have to cook anything, once it's set and the chocolate's set, then that's it, you can eat them. So for mine, I put in, right, I'll just go and get them. Right, instead of just normal like cocoa drinking chocolate, which you can put in. I've put in before when I haven't had anything. I've just started using this cocoa powder. It's supposed to be a lot better for you than normal. It's more from the health food shop, but you don't have to go to that expense. Just use normal cocoa powder. Flex seeds. Seeing as I'm on a healthy eating plan and need extra things for all my activities, quite often put flaxseed in. You can put flaxseed in on top of your cereals and stuff, so you can put, you know, it in quite a few different things with yogurt, fruit, anything, and that's really good. And the other thing I put in is protein powder, and this one's a chocolate one because I've been using doing it as a chocolate flavour, so it goes with this. But if you're an athlete and you just want to put plain in because you don't like it, or any other flavour that would go with whatever you've shoved in there, that's fine. So I'm going to just put some of these in now. This is the normal cocoa powder I normally use. It's a Tesco one. Other shops do sell these things, so it's just a normal cocoa powder. So it's probably near enough the same as that, but that probably cost me a lot more money. But never mind. So you've got the choice. Right, let's get some of these flaxseed in. So it's got vitamin D in it, which I tend to be short of. I have to take vitamin D tablets. So this is helpful to me as well. So all we will do is just put, oops, a spoonful in of that. It's quite dry, so as soon as this is quite dry as it is, I'm not putting too much in. Again, if you've got it too moist, with this flaxseed being dry, it will help. And all I'm going to do with this one, I can never get these open. It's not as though it's not been undone. You just can't get your fingers, I haven't got enough fingernails to get in the top. So all I'm going to do, you normally put a spoonful in again. So, oops, that was a bit of an extra spoonful. If you want it really chocolatey, you can put another one. And my protein powder, I normally have to use about 2 of these spoonsful for a serving, so just put 2 of them in. I might have to put a bit of liquid in this because I put an awful lot of powder in now, and mine is, stick that all over there, fasten that all up later. So I just need to put a bit of water in this, as I was saying, because I put a lot of powder in, and this wasn't as soft as I normally have it, because normally I soak my dates. I think that's about done. Yeah, that looks about done. So just in case I get it all over everywhere, so we'll move this in here, camera down a bit so you can see what I'm doing, so you won't be able to see my face, but you know, you can see my face. So if this all goes wrong, because this is the first time I've used cling film, then use foil. So here we go. think I might just no, I won't empty it into there, the onions do. Cling film could have done with being a little bit wider, but it shouldn't matter. Right, I'm just going to put these in the fridge, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out like this. And just put them over the top, but I'm not going to tear it off yet. I'm going to put the whole thing in the fridge now while I sort the chocolate. So I'm just going to break this chocolate up into this bowl. And then I'm going to put hot water in there, and I'm going to float the bowl of chocolate in that water, and it should melt. I'm not in any hurry for it to melt because the stuff in the fridge needs to cool down. So I'll be back later. This is ever so healthy, but I did say you could lose the chocolate if you I can't get the last bit off the spoon. I'll have to use my finger. I've washed my hands, and actually I might not even get a chance to eat these if I don't hide them. My husband will have got them, so I'm going to put them back in the fridge, and I'm going to roll this bit up. It will go over them eventually. I'm just going to roll it up for now so the chocolate doesn't stick to it. Then I'm going to put them in the fridge, and when the chocolate's set I'll put the cling film over the top, so then I can then cut them up, and then I'll be able to carry them. We are all nice and done, and chocolate is set, so we are safe to put this back across the top and get the scissors and cut it. So I'm going to put like that, and I'm going to leave it in the fridge for a little bit longer, and then when I do come to take them out, look, let me show you, like that, and then I can just cut down and wrap the cling film round, and then they're ready to take with me when I will go out. So they're all done. All over the table. Look at this. Very messy job, that. Very messy. So I think that I might need an odd more squirt in a bit. Stick it there. So I'm going to make a cake now. So I'm going to make a sponge cake for my daughter. So 2 of these pans, and oh, hold on, I'll not have to put jam in the middle. She don't like jam. Might have to do 2 cakes. One for me and Mark, and one for Emma, because she don't like jam in the middle of her cakes. Oh no, go find another pan. Right, this one is my grandma's, and I'll not throw it away. I've got one, well, I've got quite a few things in my grandma's. Won't throw them away. My husband and daughter said, "Oh, they're old. Have some new ones." No, no way. This is my grandma's, and it's the only thing that I've got to remember her of, except for some photos, because that's what she used to do a lot, bake. So we bring back memories. So that's for Emma. She's just having one cake on her own. So there we go. So my checking device, I'm just going to go and put this in the centre. It comes out clear. The cake is done. There we are, all cooked, nice and steaming. Just turn them out onto the cooling rack in a minute, and then when they're completely cool I'm going to put jam in the middle. Well, there we are, the cake. I did try to video it before somebody had a piece, but my battery ran out. Looks very nice, doesn't it? Tastes very nice. My new cake protector, but it could do with having locks on the side so Mark can't get to it because he loves cake.